Whew. Hey y'all, it's your girl JJ. I want to apologize in advance. I swear to God, yesterday I sat down to do this review. I got through it, and then it deleted. So I got so irritated, and I'm so sorry because I did 3 takes, and my initial one was one that got deleted. So then I did 2 more. I don't know what was happening. Hopefully this has gotten it together. All right. Appreciate you guys, and I'm sorry. And by the way, I want to say I have 2 PR. I want to shout out. Should I do it at the end? I'm going to do it at the end. Alright. But, so I want to get into this because there was a lot of dialogue. And it was a fantastic episode. If y'all saw, y'all know what I'm talking about. It was lots of things that we were like, we knew it. Don't try and tell me I didn't know something. I knew. You're trying to tell me. I knew, everybody. Okay. I told you, Tyler is my uncle, so he had me on set. And just, I was walking around, I was talking, hey, Aaron, Wyatt, I was like, hey, what up, Gavin, Jeffrey, Angela, Veronica, I was like, what's up, they know me, so they like, Jada J on set, they looking at me like I'm a celebrity, you feel me? So I knew what was going to happen. I already knew. And a lot of my subscribers did too. Yeah, y'all knew. Let's get into it. Okay. So we open up where we left off last week. So they're both, Jeffrey and Veronica are still in shock, okay? So he's clutching that knife handle for dear life. So he lets go of the knife and literally just walks out. And she does this very dramatic fall into the chair, and we find out later it hit the freaking silicone, which that's why you were leaking. Okay, I don't know all that, but they said it was an implant. Alright, let me not get ahead of myself. Anyway. So Catherine and Hannah are also in shock. But finally, after Jeffrey leaves, Hannah runs up to her, and she's just like, calm down, because, Veronica's like, help me, and just all the dramatics, and it was a paring knife. And, okay, I'm going ahead. All right. So then she goes, Hannah, call the police. She's like, okay. And then she's like, I cannot believe he did that, Can't believe he did it, whatever. And so, Hannah can't say, she was like, I can't say I'm surprised that he did. And then so she's like, Hannah, and she's like, yeah. She goes, oh, calling him, and she's like, oh, yeah. So then she's, moving slow, whatever. So she finally gets him on the phone, and there was some exchange between those two. When she goes, you need to calm your breathing. And then Catherine goes, Hannah. She's like, okay, I'm calling. So the lady finally gets on the phone, and so she's like, oh yeah, we need an ambulance. Okay, there's been an accident. Not an accident. My son stabbed me. Yes, ma'am. There's been an accident. We need an ambulance over here. Ma'am, did I hear in the background that she was stabbed? Yes. Who was it, ma'am? Look, they're not here now. She goes, this is the perpetrator. They're still there. No, they're not there. They're gone. Who stabbed her, ma'am? Look, does that really matter? Could you just do you have the address? Can you just send an ambulance? Ma'am, we need to know this for the police. Did you stab her? No, I did not. Then, ma'am, who stabbed her? And then Veronica's like, give me the phone, I'll tell her. And then Catherine's kind of like, okay, Hannah, just give her the phone. We ain't trying to have all this. So she gives her the phone. No, she doesn't give her the phone. She goes, you know what, y'all are talking too much. And she goes into the other room. And she goes, ma'am, what is she saying in the background? Is she saying she's been stabbed? Yeah, she's saying she said. She was like, and what's your name? She goes, bystander. Now, could you have the address? Can you just send an ambulance? And she's like, ma'am. She goes, just send an ambulance. And she hangs up the phone. So then she comes back in. And as she's walking, she goes, the ambulance is on their way. And so Veronica grabs her. She's like, you witch. She goes, you want me to push it in a little further? And she's got the dagger in her chest. The dagger and the implant, actually. The phone just... Hold on. I'm not... Ooh. Okay, I'm actually not going to answer it because I'm going to be on the phone for a long time if I pick it up. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So she goes, you want me to push it in a little further? So, wait a minute. Hold on. So then she's like, why didn't you let me talk? Yes, Mom. Of course, my mom picked up the phone. Hello? Hey, I'm actually Captain, would you mind if I called you back? Oh no, I'm gonna call you back. I'm in the middle of a show review actually. Oh, that's fine. Oh, okay. Wait, what do you mean you don't want to be there? Oh, very smart. Well, we'll get into it later. All right. Okay. What? Bye. Told you. Okay, so she goes, the ambulance is on the way, and watch your mouth. And then she goes, Captain, call. I've already called Hannah. So she goes, ask her, did she call? She goes, Hannah, did you call? She's like, yes, I called. And then she keeps going, Catherine, could you just call? She's already called, bam. And then it moves to the next. And how they did it, actually, because they came back to that. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it how they did it. I'm going to come back to it. I'm not just going to put it in one. So then we switch to David and Jim. And so Jim is telling David, he goes, Hannah told me what happened. And I need to talk to Jennifer. I need you to get me a meeting with her. Why? I need to talk to her. For what reason? David, I need to talk to Jennifer because I need to tell her that she is responsible for the killing of my son. She killed him. He goes, Jim, she is still the DA, and she is personally prosecuting your case. Okay, so that's not a good idea. I'll talk to her for you. Okay, he was like, well, here's what I need to do. No, so he grabs David because now he's crying. He goes, David, I'm not going to be able to believe that this is real until you go to see my son and that you tell me that he is dead. And he goes, I understand. So he goes, here's what you're going to do, David. You're going to go to the morgue and you're going to go and look at the body and you're going to tell me that that is not Wyatt Cryer, that they have made a mistake, and you're going to come back here and you're going to tell me, all right? So David is crying too. It's just a real brotherhood, just, the pinkies up. And so just you're going to go there and you're going to tell them that you made a mistake, that they made a mistake, and then you're going to come back and you're going to tell me. He goes, yes, I will. I will do that for you, Jim. Appreciate you coming. Just, okay. Bam, he leaves. And then Jim even has a moment where he's kind of cropped up on the door because he can't handle it. And he tells him, he's like, I need him to be all right, David, because this is too heavy a load. So then now, okay, David is leaving the guard immediately when Jim is cropped up on the door. Yeah, I was like, you could have been a little more sympathetic. I mean, okay, for him, it's just a prisoner, but okay, dang. I wasn't really feeling bad for Jim because it's Jim, but I was feeling something. I don't know what it was. It might have been indigestion, but it was something. Anyway, okay. So then we switched to the hotel. Jeffrey is freaking out. And I loved this. I was like, who was on editing, writing, whatever that was? Just the technology of it. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. The quality was wonderful, and just the acting on Gavin's end. So he's coming down the hallway and he's hearing everything that he feels like has contributed to like the ruin of his life, and just everything. He's hearing Landon's voice, I don't trust you, you're all crazy. He's hearing his mama's voice, let's go back to season 1, who gave you the right to be a homosexual, how dare you. He's hearing who's that, Laura, the girl he got out of Wyatt's life, saying that you're a cruel and mean person. He's hearing everybody. Okay, he's hearing everybody. He even sees himself stabbing Quincy, and the final scene that he saw in his mind was the stabbing of Veronica. So then after that, it's like, okay, it all kind of nips in. He calls Candace. Bam, it's okay. Hello? Yeah, Jeffrey, I can't talk right now. I think I killed my mother. Wait a minute, what? Yeah, I think I killed her. She's gonna turn us in. I stabbed her. She's gonna turn us in. I know she is. She's gonna turn us in. Well, Jeffrey, calm down. What happened? What are you talking about? Listen, did she say she was gonna turn us in? No. She was just saying all this stuff about Wyatt, and I couldn't handle it. Okay, Jeffrey, calm down. Where are you? I'm at the Sarandon Hotel. I'm at the Sarandon. Okay, Jeffrey, did anybody see you do this? Yeah, I was at the Cryer homes. The Cryer home? Okay, did Catherine see you? Yeah, and your mother was there. My mother? Wait a minute, does she still work there? I don't know. She could have been there for Wyatt. Wyatt, what are you talking about? Wyatt, what? Yeah, he OD'd. What? That was Candace, just what? So then she goes, okay, Jeffrey, I could be there in about an hour. An hour? I might not be here in an hour. I'm going to be arrested. They're going to take me. They're going to kill me. They're going to take me. It just, he didn't say it. That was in the script. I saw it. Okay, he didn't say it on camera, but we had that in. They're going to kill me. They're going to take me. And they're going to throw me. All that. But he, on camera, he just said, I might be arrested by them. She's like, Jeffrey, here's what you're going to do. That's not going to happen, all right? You're going to go downstairs. I'm going to have a friend call the hotel. I'm going to put the key under the name Erica Boyd, all right? You're going to go downstairs. You're going to get the key, and you're going to switch rooms. Nobody's going to know you were there, all right? I'll be there in an hour. Just calm down. Just wait for me. Just wait for me. And so they get off the phone. So Jeffrey was losing it. Okay, I'll say it like that. He was just, we said, okay, Jeffrey, you're going out your mind. All right, just, not to mention, this is kind of ironic because Veronica is crazy, but we were kind of like, okay, Jeffrey must have just missed that, you know, but nah, Jeffrey is looking. Okay, so then we switch to David. Now he's coming to see Jennifer, and so he's coming to talk to her. And she goes, I told him I wasn't seeing anyone. He goes, you know I'm not just anyone. What do you want, David? He goes, I want you to drop the charges against Jim. She goes, you know that's not going to happen. I won't do it. Okay, I'm preparing a case. So then he goes, well, he wants to see you. I'm not going to see him. Why not? Because you're hiding? No, because I'm preparing a case against him. He goes, with no witnesses, right? And that's when she goes, well, what do you want, David? He goes, drop the charges. And he goes, how much suffering do you want the family to go through? They just lost their son. She goes, as much suffering as Lizzie Castile's family did, and Benny Young. And he goes like, what are you trying to prove here? What are you trying to do? She's like, nothing. She was like, are you really that dumb to put it past your friends that nothing is beneath them? They'll do anything to escape? Huh? This is their child. Oh, yeah, and so was Amanda, right? What are you talking about? Amanda committed suicide. Let me show you something. Bam, pulls out the picture of Amanda. You know, the crime scene. Remember? Because they when that happened, they came back and they were saying that it was a homicide. And I was like, Tyler, what is this? Because I felt like it. I said, this is a homicide, Tyler. What's all this blood splatter? Come on. Then they go ahead and say it was a suicide, which we would have been okay with if we hadn't seen the crime scene. But all that blood spatter, you're going to tell us that was a suicide, Tyler? But then, okay, it left like that. So we're like, okay, I guess Tyler was trying to sell this as a suicide and kind of just do the homicide thing and just to do a twist and turn. But no, so she goes, he goes, this was ruled a suicide. You even said it yourself. Because she asked him, she goes, how does the blood spatter travel that far, David? From the floor to the wall to the desk? Come on, David. So he goes, I don't know, but even you ruled it a suicide, right? She goes, actually, the initial officer who went to that room ruled it a homicide, and he made the right call. But somehow a M.E., also a friend of the Criers, ruled it a suicide and overruled him. But now that one has retired and a new one has came in, and he's saying he has reclassified it and it's definitely a homicide. And he goes, what are you saying? And she goes, I think you know what I'm saying. You need to check your friends and stop trying to act like nothing is beneath them. By the way, so what's this I hear about Maggie Day? Yeah, what's this I hear about being at your wife's house and an intruder shot her? You know, what's going on with that? He's like, I don't know. You have to talk to her yourself. She goes, I can't do that, but I will be speaking to the DA in her county. And so, and then he goes back to defending Veronica, because then he's like, come on, you know, there's witnesses and there was police. And she goes, oh, come on. You know, that is way too convenient. Okay, so then he's like, you're not going to drop the charges? She goes, no, I'm not. Then she's like, are we done here? He goes, yep. So he's about to leave. He goes, okay, well, actually, I told Jim that I'll go ID the body. So is it here yet? She goes, no, it's only been 32 hours, so we're still trying to rule out foul play. And that's when all the Amanda stuff comes in. And he goes, are you serious? And that. So then he's like, I need to go see him at the hotel. And so she's like, you're not going on an active crime scene. And he goes, Jennifer, please, you know me. Like, it's me. She was like, what does that mean? You're all having affairs and stuff like that now? I don't know you. And for some reason, that Jennifer, please does something. He don't say Jennifer. He says, Jennifer, please. Jennifer, please. Notice how that works on her? Like, we know David is smooth. But not that smooth. All right, David. But yeah, so she was like, okay, fine, detective. She writes him up something, I guess, granting him entrance. And, oh, Detective Blake will let you in. So that's what we get with those two. I will tell you. And although then she goes, did you know Maggie's being shipped up to D.C. for a state funeral? Oh, are you going, David? Are you going? No, I'm not. Oh, she goes, well, you probably should. She got a lot further with you than I did. I said, I'm done. Dude, I'm so serious. I'm over it. I said, no, she didn't. Now, see, Tyler deceived me. I don't know if it was all y'all too, but I'll tell you, I thought David almost had an affair. with her. Like, maybe they started kissing or something. Oh, but I can't do it. I love my wife. And then, but now it kind of just seems like she just going out of her mind. So, like, she always wanted him, but he just wouldn't give her a second look. Like, that kind of thing now. So, I'm kind of like, okay, Jennifer, you need to get over it. It's not happening. Okay? He's already told you no. We're over it. Okay. So, then we switch back to Jeffrey. Okay, so he's locking doors. He's checking windows. Picks up the phone. Who's he called? Bam, it's Officer Justin. Now, I just want to point out, I watched the Jedis, and he said this was like DL come to life for him, just like the down low. And I didn't say this, because and even in the takes that I did, I was like, it made him look even more of a dirtbag for me, because Mom, I'm reviewing, Mom. So we now see a different side of Justin, because we've seen him and it looks like he is catching feelings for Jeffrey. So if you're just thinking at him like, okay, he's not married and he's out of the closet, okay, you're cool. But then when you go back and you're like, you all cuddled up with your wife, and then like y'all weren't going to do nothing, but you could have easily had like not the intention, but something could have happened and you knew that. So, but you going to see him, anyway. So Jeffrey calls him and he's like, I need you to come down here. I did something real bad. Well, what did you do? What do you know what time it is? Yeah, here, Mom. Yeah, I know what time it is. Mom. Mom. Yeah, he goes, yeah, I know what time it is. Just look, come down here. He's like, all right, I'm on my way. So then he's about to leave out, and his wife, because when he gets out of the bed, he wakes her. He goes, it's a homicide. She goes, but you have the night off. He goes, I know. She's like, okay, well, love you. And he goes, leans in for a kiss. Oh, I love you too. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it on Justin's end. Then we switch to Benny, and I feel bad for her, because I feel like he really is kind of going to get to a point where because we already see he's starting to catch feelings for Jeffrey. So sad. Then we switch to Benny and Mitch. They're in the car waiting for David. They're at the camp and headquarters. So Mitch finally goes, dude, he ain't coming. So he's like, man, I guess not. But he was like, man, I got to think, how did he do this? Our phones still have a dial tone, but they not ringing. He was like, what is this, CSI or something? And he's like, nah, man. Like, no, he was like, for real, though. So he goes, what did he say? Oh, he goes, I'm going to beat his ass. That's what I'm going to do. I know that's what I'm going to do. So then Mitch is like, nah, man, look. You got to hit these dudes where it hurts. He came for your phones because that's going to hit your money. So you got to come back with something that's going to hit him in the pockets. You can't just you got to think with your street smarts. Not all this. You feel me? You can't do that, because that does nothing. He can still keep the phones off. So then Benny's like, man, you right. But what do I do? I already hit his wife. So what up? He was like, man, we need to talk about that. He was like, you banging out old bras now? I said, no, Mitch didn't. I can't. Okay, so then Benny is like, man, listen, don't be hating on them old bras. He was like, they got some skills. No, he goes, that old bra has some skills. Don't count her out the game. And then so Mitch kind of laughs, and he's like, back on a serious note, man, what are we going to do? He's like, what you know about this dude? He was like, I know he's a judge. He's like, okay, what else? He was like, he got a son. He was like, a son. And so he was like, yeah, so then he was like, man, I'm not messing with his son. He was like, that's not what I'm saying. He's like, he's like, so what you saying? He was like, I'm saying if you find a man's weakness, you hit his power. So he's like, why don't we go pay his son a visit? Why don't we do that? He goes, all right. Let's pay him a visit. He better not try and rough Jeffrey up. Okay, because I don't think so. But we seen him, what is that? It teased for next week that he's going to come to the house. And I don't know. I think he was talking to Jeffrey. Jeffrey said something, and he was like, man, I'll F you up in a second. Or so he said something like that. I don't know. It was something. I didn't appreciate it. Because it was like, okay, you don't got to be so rude. Like, did y'all get that? Okay, so then we switch to Jeffrey. Now, Justin is coming in, and he goes, look, never call my house again. And so he goes, I think I killed my mother. What? I stabbed her in the heart. I think I killed her. Okay, well, tell me, like, what happened? No, he goes, she was just saying all these things, and I just stabbed her. So he goes, is it about you sleeping with her boyfriend? What? Yeah, Candace, she told me you slept with your mother's boyfriend. That's a lie. He's like, I don't know why she make up such crap. That's just a lie. My mom don't have a boyfriend. I wouldn't do that. It was a lie. So then he goes, first he goes, I need to know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to the guy that I handcuffed to bed, or am I talking to the cop? He goes, we don't talk about that. So he goes, again, am I talking to the cop or the guy? He was like, if I wanted you busted, you'd be gone already. Okay, so just tell me what happened. So he gets after Jeffrey tells him everything, he gets on dispatch, and Jeffrey kind of falls to his knees, and he's like, no. He's like, it's okay, calm down. I'm looking for a possible warrant on he goes, okay, go ahead. He goes, Jeffrey Michael Harrington. Clear. No, he goes, clear. He goes, thanks. So then he, that's so cool, just to even imitate, you know what I'm saying? Anyway. Okay, so he's like, look, you're clean. There's no warrants out or anything. He's like, but what about my mother? He's like, okay, I don't want to record them too close together. All right, just calm. So Jeffrey kind of falls back. And so he's like, man, he was like, this night is crazy. I lost my best friend. So then that's when the officer, he comes up on him. He's like, it's going to be okay. And he's holding his hand, and, on his face, and it's going to be okay. And so then that's when Jeffrey is like, I need you to take me to Candace's house. I need to show you something. And I was so mad. I was over it. And Jeffrey. I said, you can't do that, Jeffrey. You can't do it. Because, and I said this, so I said back though, because Jeffrey and Candace are ace boom boom. But the fact is, murder can have some people doing some strange things. But I'm surprised, because I was like, if anything, I felt like if it had to happen, Candace was going to switch up on Jeffrey. I don't know why, but that's what I thought. It was that for me. Okay. I think I jumbled this. Oh, no, okay. Okay, so then we switch to David. And he comes in, he's talking to the detective. And he goes, well, are you guys almost done here? He was like, yeah. So David goes, oh, this is no longer a crime scene. He goes, no foul play here, and all this. So he goes, have you come to identify? And then he goes, the druggies have cleaned up pretty much everything. He goes, okay. He goes, are you here to identify him? He goes, yeah. He goes, is that him? He was like, could you turn him over? And so they turn him. And so he's like, oh, man. So then he goes, is that him? He goes, yeah. So he goes over to him. And he's like, wait a minute. He's warm. He's breathing. Call 911. He's calling an ambulance. So he pulls him off the bed. And you know what? Rel C was saying it. I had the thought that I just knew Maggie and Wyatt are not dead. I didn't know which one. I just said one of them is not dead. And when she started talking about a state funeral, I think Maggie's dead. So I'm shocked. But I ain't too shocked. So then wait a minute. Hold on now, wait. Okay, so then Candace calls Benny. Right? Yeah, she calls Benny. I didn't write then, because I usually say then we switch, so it messed me up. Candace calls Benny, and she goes, I need you to do me a favor. He's like, well, what's up? What are you talking about? So she goes, I need you to call Mama. First she's like, I don't know if it was first, y'all. I'm jumbling, but this was all in the same scene. She goes, Jeffrey stabbed his mother. What? Wait, did he kill her? I sure hope so. But I need you to call Hannah, and I need you to see, did she know anything? Why would I call Hannah? What are you talking? He was like, you mean your mother? She goes, I just need you to call her, all right? So she goes, why would she know anything? He goes, Jeffrey said she was there when, he stabbed his mother. So he goes, are you sure there's no other way? What are you talking about? What's wrong? He was like, I don't think she wanted to talk to me. She pretty pissed off. What did the golden boy do? Look, is there any other way? If there's any other way, I would have done it. I need you to call her, okay? I need you to call her. Okay. He was like, okay, but she not gonna tell me nothing about Veronica. She goes, why? He goes, look, I'll call her. And then she goes, okay, so then hangs the phone. Then we switch back to Catherine. Now, Veronica she goes, where's the ambulance? Where's the Hannah, did you call the police? Yes. And then she goes, Catherine, I don't lie. And she goes, no, you don't, Hannah. She goes, Catherine, please call the police. She goes, fine, okay, I'll call them just for just for your sake. So she calls them, and they're like, ma'am, is the ambulance on the way? Yes. And then so she starts asking Catherine questions. What did she say? I think she goes, did you? And I can't believe I forgot this. Let me go back to the first scene when Hannah even moved to the other room. She goes, my son, he stabbed me. He's a black male, 173 pounds, 6'1", and all this. Okay, so now I'll switch back. Okay, so she calls him. Is the ambulance on the way? Yes. Ma'am, was she stabbed? Yes. And then, yeah, so then she hangs up the phone. And she goes, see, I told you I called them. I don't lie. She was like, no, you don't. And then so Veronica goes, oh, yeah, you're the perfect little Christian. She was like, not perfect. And then so she was like, oh, yeah, you're not perfect. You're right about that because you're enjoying this a little too much, Hannah. And then so Catherine goes, she is not enjoying this. Yes, she is. No, she is not, Veronica. She is not enjoying this. She was like, I'm sorry, Miss Cryer. She was like, I'm trying to find some sympathy for this woman, but she is trying me. So she goes, oh, now I'm trying her. No, she said, I'm trying to find some compassion. So the doorbell rings, and there's this moment where Catherine and Hannah kind of look at each other, and she kind of like, well, I'm not going to get the door. You go get it. I don't work for you no more. I don't work for you. So then she goes, and then Catherine goes to get the door. So they come in, they go over to her, and she goes, so they're looking, they're like, let me see. And she they go, are you sure this was an accident? She goes, no, I was stabbed. They go, stabbed? Well, if you were stabbed, we have to wait for the police to get here just in case the perpetrator is still here because we were told this was an accident. And they look over like they already knew it was Hannah on the phone. Like, you don't know that. We're over. You got to look at the black person. Didn't appreciate it. So, yeah, so then they're like, ma'am, nobody's here. Nobody's here. So then they get down and they're looking at her. And so she's just like, help. She goes, how long is the knife? She goes, 6 inches. And then Hannah goes, 1.5 inches. It was a paring knife. And that's what she said in the first scene, too. She goes, a paring knife. This isn't a life-threatening injury or anything. That's what she said in the first scene. I'm sorry, I missed that. If this isn't a life-threatening thing, she probably just need a Band-Aid. Okay, so now going back to this, she's like, about 1.5 inches. It was just a paring knife. So he goes, okay, it doesn't look like there's too much going on here. It looks like it got the implant. I don't wear implants. I don't know what you mean. Oh, okay, ma'am. Oh, she goes, well, if you do, it might have just saved your life. And then so they're kind of looking at her like, girl, you wearing implants now? And then she goes, can you walk? And she goes, can I walk? There's a knife in my chest. And then the lady goes, the EMT, she goes, can you walk now? Tyler needs to get her an extra check and an extra couple checks or write her on for another scene. Just something. She needs something. Okay, get her an extra check, Tyler, because can you walk now? She said it with an attitude, too. I was like, go ahead now. Didn't appreciate it for obvious reasons, if y'all know what I'm talking about. Can't say it on camera. She was white. Oh, wait a minute. That wasn't, I'm over it. Edit that out. Okay, so, moving on. To get her an extra check, Tyler. I said, get her an extra check. Or write her in another scene. Okay, so she's so dramatic. So she's getting up and she's walking. She goes, oh my God. Oh, Catherine, could you grab my purse, honey? Do you have my purse, Catherine? Yeah, I have your purse. Okay, I'll call you later. All right. And just she's literally, because they're holding her. So she's just like she's woozy or something. I was over it. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. Wait a minute, what? Oh, yeah, so then Hannah is laughing about how dramatic Veronica is looking right now. So she's laughing, and she's literally laughing. She's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know how that happens. That happens, though. So but I knew Catherine was going to be mad. She goes, I'm sorry, Miss Carter. I know I shouldn't be laughing. And she goes, my son is still dead. And then so she's like, I know, I'm sorry, Miss Catherine. She goes, go home. She's like, okay, Miss Catherine, but I'm sorry. So then she leaves. So as she's getting into the car, Benny calls her. Mama, what's going on? Are you okay? Why are you asking me? What do you want? What do you want? So he's like, is everything okay? She was like, why were you talking to that woman? And so he goes, Mama, just stop. I need you to talk to her. That's all. He's like, I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to worry about it. So he goes, what happened with something? I can't remember it. No, are you okay or something? He kept asking her something. She was like, I won't answer you till you answer me. And she finally told him, I don't know what it was, you guys. Oh yeah, she goes, is everything okay? And she goes, the crier's son just died. And he goes, what? He was like, dang, to lose a son and a daughter. She was like, yes, and I'm not about to lose one of mine to some hoish old woman. And he goes, mama. And she's like, no, I'm not, Benny. Now tell me why you were talking to her. He's like, I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to worry about it. So then she's like, so then our car pulls up. You know, it's Jennifer Salison, and, you know, she brought an officer with her. She goes, I got to call you back. I got to call you back. Wait, did Jeffrey stab his mother? What? How did you know about that? Look, I said I got to call you back, all right? No, is she okay? Mama, is she okay? Bye, Benny. I'll call you back. So she gets out of the car. And the officer pulls up, and then it's Jennifer she gets out the car. She goes, we need to speak to Miss Cryer. And so she's like, okay. She goes, is she home? She goes, yep. She goes, well, we need to come in. We need to speak to her urgent. You know, it's urgent. So then she's like, okay, I'll walk you in. So she walks them in. We need to see her now. Okay, so then we switch to Candace. She's calling Jeffrey. She goes, I'm on my way to see you. He goes, I'm not at the hotel. She goes, then where are you at? He goes, I'm with Officer Justin. She goes, wait, what? Where are you? Standing in your backyard. I said, no, I did that because I was like, Jeffrey, I know you're not trying to have Candace go down for this. But what they tease for next week, he thinks this is like a cleansing process. Because he even, at one point when he's talking to, I don't know, I think, yeah, because she comes back, she goes, Jeffrey, are you drunk? And she goes, Candace, I'm freeing us. I have to free myself and all of this. So he thinks, listen, the officer got a little crush on you, Jeffrey. That don't mean he's willing to be fired and reputation shamed and do time in prison for being an accessory for you. That doesn't mean that, Jeffrey. Come on now. You got to be smarter than that. You got to have beauty and brains. That was the episode, y'all. And I want to, has anybody seen the preview for Too Close to Home? If you guys know, Tyler has a new show coming out on TLC. I can't even remember the date. I am going to be reviewing that. I'm telling you. I am going to be reviewing that. Okay. Hopefully it's not too inappropriate, because if y'all haven't noticed, I don't like to talk about the actual stuff. If it's over, if you're just talking, I can deal with it. I don't like to go through a whole scene and just, I don't like it. Okay, but from what I saw, I might have to do a little bit of skipping. If there's dialogue, I'll stop to see what's happening, but that's about it. So I want to say I'm going to be reviewing Too Close to Home. If you guys have not seen it, check it out. Tyler, he posted it on his Facebook, so check that out. Also, Greenleaf, I'm thinking I think I'm going to review next season. Because I wanted to do, for season 1, I wanted to do episode 1. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. What if, you know, I start falling behind on reviews? I never reviewed 2 shows practically at once. So and I wanted to even do Empire. I couldn't do it. I'll tell you, like, this is like a lot for my haves and have-nots. Empire, I almost went through a whole notebook. I promise you, just on 1 episode. And I had already written it down. And I was like, I'm going to get on camera. And I just didn't do it. Because I felt like I had, like, I was like, am I going to be able to do this every week? So I'm still thinking, I love Empire. And I actually missed all of last season. Because I had some stuff going on and just all this. But I have it all on my list, thank God for DVR. So I'm going to be definitely catching up on that. But anyway, I told you guys I have 2 shout-outs I have to do. And that's Doran Provost and Mr. Keith Turner. So I want to start with Doran. Doran has been with me, I think, since my first episode of The Haves and Have-Nots. Because, of course, like, I don't know, for me, like, when I came to YouTube, I didn't think anybody was going to watch my stuff. I was just like, I love these shows, and I'm going to get on camera, and I'm going to review it. You know, shoot, because that's always my thing. I'm just like, you know, should I do it? Shouldn't I? And, yeah, so Doran, you know, she was one of the ones to leave a comment. And I was really excited about comments when I was coming to YouTube. I was like, because I would look, you know, at other channels, and I'm like, you know, they must love this, just having the comments and, you know, being able to talk back. It really is a nice feeling. So, and Doran is very efficient. Doran always has the keynotes every episode, so we discuss theories and just things that have already happened. Oh, and I knew this was going to happen. So, Doran, I appreciate you. I cannot believe I forgot 2 weeks in a row. It's not you. My mind, my memory is going. My memory is going. You and Keith are going, I'm going to have you at the top. I'm going to write a list. I didn't write a list. I always say I'm going to write stuff down, and I don't. But yeah, thank you so much, Doran. Appreciate you for still rocking with me, because I know some people would be like, you didn't give me a shout out. Forget you, I'm over it. Okay. Okay, now I want to switch over to Keith. Oh my, Keith Turner been with me since If Loving You Is Wrong. And I started reviewing If Loving You Is Wrong before this show. So, and he also watches Jedi. So I really appreciate Keith taking a chance on me, because I know the Jedi was like, you know, go check her out. And so Keith came over to say, and he's also one that leaves comments. And I want to say for this show, he and I were kind of at odds a little bit, because he was like, I like the new Jeffrey. You know, and I was like, I don't know about that, Keith, because I didn't know if I was really feeling it. I don't like when Jeffrey acts punk, but I didn't love it that he was over the top and just the little one-liners. It just wasn't Jeffrey. Like, I don't know. I like it when he has one-liners, but I just that promoting, like, just pimping yourself out. I felt like that's what was happening. But Keith was like, nah, like, I'm rocking with the new Jeffrey. I said, okay, Keith. So yeah, Keith, your comments always bring a smile to my face. So I appreciate you for watching. Can't believe I forgot you. Like I said, my memory is gone. It's gone. I can't even find it anymore. Okay, I can't find it. All right, and my lawyers will tell you. Tell them. Okay, they're saying it off camera. They're signaling me. Do you want your paycheck? Do you want your paycheck or not? That's all you have to do when you have people working for you, Keith. I know you know all about that. I know you know. Okay, so I appreciate you guys for watching. So sorry it's late. By the way, I'm up to 100 subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you guys. It's your girl, J to J. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.